The House will come to order. All members take their seats. All guests, please clear the aisles. Clerk, please unlock the machine. All members record their presence by pressing the green button. All members, please hit the green button. Clerk, please lock the machine. There are 58 members present. There is a quorum. All rise for the invocation to be given by Representative Casimiro, who will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Representative Casimiro.
Thank you, Speaker. Dear Lord, you have entrusted us with the responsibility of caring for those less fortunate. Help us to embrace this task wholeheartedly, not out of a sense of burden, but out of mercy and kindness. May we always be eager to serve you and those you have commanded to our care. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Representative. Next order of business is the approval of the journal. Is there any objection to the approval of the journal of the previous legislative day? Hearing none, so ordered. Communications, clerk, and it's welcome back. It's happy to have you here back. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Representative James N. McLaughlin is unable to attend session today, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. Representative Scott Slater is unable to attend session today, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. And Representative Marcia Ranglin-Vassell is unable to attend session today, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021.
Thank you. Please place on file. Committee reports. Are there any committee reports? There are none. Is there any new business? Thank you. Representative Carson with new business. Representative Speakman with new business. Chairman Corvasi with new business. Representative Ruggiero with new business. Representative Constantino with new business. Representative Bennett with new business. Chairman Solomon with new business. Representative Shawcross-Smith with new business. Representative McGaugh with new business. Representative Barrows, do you have new business? No, I'm sorry. Okay. I said Representative Bennett. I meant Chairman Bennett, so I'm sorry about that. Any other new business? I don't see any. We could always come back if anybody has new business. You can also place your, thank you, place your bills in the box in front of the stage. Thank you. Next order of business is today's calendar. Clerk, please read the first item on today's calendar.
Item number 1, number 5076, sub A.
Chairman McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 5076, substitute A, by myself, would require the principal at each school to provide an annual report on the number of graduating students and the number applying for admission to college or vocational training. The report would also include the total number of students completing the free application for federal student aid, that's FAFSA form, and the total number of students eligible to fill out and submit the FAFSA form, and would provide data on race, ethnicity, and gender of the students. Mr. Speaker, Last year, there was a 20% decrease in FAFSA filings for our minority students. The largest decrease was in African American students. This bill would give us the data necessary to address disparities and to make our educational system more equal opportunity. There was no opposition, and it was supported unanimously by the Committee on Education, and I move passage.
Chairman McNamara moves passage. Seconded by Representative Carson, Representative Speakman, Representative Amore, Representative Phillips, Representative Caldwell, Representative Morales, Representative Bia, Representative Donovan, Representative Henrys, Representative Norrie, Chairwoman Ruggiero, Chairwoman McEntee, Leader Blazajewski, Chairman Abney, Deputy Speaker Lima, Chairwoman Serpa, Representative Kazar, Representative Cortravan, Representative Cardillo, Chairman Shanley, Chairwoman Fogarty, Representative Agello, Representative Shawcross-Smith, Chairman Hull, Deputy Whip Ackerman, Chairwoman Diaz, Chairman Bennett, Floor Manager Edwards, Representative Tanzi, Chairman Craven, Chairman Casey, Representative Giraldo, Representative Stephen Lima, Representative Potter, Representative Casimiro, Whip Kazarian, Representative Felix, Representative Alzate, Representative Barrows, Representative McGaugh, Representative Messier, and Representative Price. Are there any other seconds? There are no other lights. Clerk, please unlock the machine. All those in favor, please vote green. Any in the negative, please vote red. Leader Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 47 of the House Rules, I have proxy votes in favor of item number 1 from the following representatives: Handy, Hawkins, Lombardi, Marzukowski, McLaughlin, O'Brien, Ranglin-Vassell, Slater, and Vella-Wilkinson. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Leader Filippi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Same request in the affirmative. Representatives Roberts and Newberry, please.
Thank you. Clerk, please lock the machine. There are 73 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The act shall prevail. Next docketed item, please, Clerk.
Item number 2, number 5106.
Chairman Hull.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House 5106 comes to us by Representative Falella. This bill from Representative Falella would allow the town of Johnson to adopt tax classification plan independent of the provision of Rhode Island General Law 44511.8. The Town Council resolution supports this measure. I move passage.
Thank you. Chairman Hull moves passage. Seconded by Representative Barrows, Representative Falella, Floor Manager Edwards, Chairman Azanaro, Chairman Hull, Chairman Abney, Leader Blazajewski, Representative Cardillo, and Representative Carson, as well as Chairman Corvesi and Representative McGaugh. There are no other seconds. Any lights on the bill? Chairwoman Diaz also seconding, as well as Representative Constantino. There are no lights. Clerk, please unlock the machine. All those in the affirmative, please vote green. Any in the negative, please vote red. Leader Blazajewski, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 47 of the House Rules, I have proxy votes in favor of item number 2 from the following representatives: Handy, Hawkins, Lombardi, Marzukowski, McLaughlin, O'Brien, Slater, and Vella-Wilkinson. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Leader Filippi.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Same request in the affirmative. Representative Roberts and Newberry, please.
Thank you. Clerk, please lock the machine. There are 70 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The act shall prevail. Next docketed item, please, Clerk.
Item number 3, Senate 242.
Chairman Hull.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate 242 by Senator DiMario. It's a duplicate of House Bill 5129. This bill from the Senator is a duplicate of Representative Casimiro's bill. It would exempt from taxation real property from Ocean State Community Wellness. I move passage.
Chairman Hull moves passage, seconded by Representative Casimiro, Leader Blazajewski, Chairman Abney, as well as Chairwoman Diaz and Chairwoman McEntee, as well as Chairman Craven and Chairman Hull. Any other seconds? Representative Cortravan also seconding. There are no more seconds, and there are no lights. Clerk, please unlock the machine. All those in the affirmative, please vote green. Any in the negative, please vote red. Leader Blazajewski, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 47 of the House Rules, I have proxy votes in favor of item number 3 from the following representatives: Handy, Hawkins, Lombardi, Marzukowski, McLaughlin, O'Brien, Slater, and Vella Wilkinson. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Leader Filippi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Same request in the affirmative. Representatives Roberts and Newberry, please.
Thank you. Clerk, please lock the machine. There are 72 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The act shall prevail. Next docket item, please.
Item number 4, Senate 277.
Chairman Hull.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate 277 by Senator Al Jazz is a duplicate of House Bill 5478, Representative Casimiro. It would allow the town of Westerly to authorize an issue of Class B license to retailer located at 169-177 Main Street in Westerly. There is a town council resolution in support of this measure. I move passage.
Chairman Hull moves passage. Second by Leader Blazajewski, Chairman Azanaro, Chairman Abney, Representative Phillips, as well as Whip Kazarian and Chairman Hull, and Chairwoman Ruggiero, also seconding. There are no seconds. There are no lights. Clerk, please unlock the machine. All those in affirmative, please vote green. Any in the negative, please vote red. Leader Blazajewski, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 47 of the House Rules, I have proxy votes in favor of item number 4 from the following representatives: Handy, Hawkins, Lombardi, Marzukowski, McLaughlin, O'Brien, Slater, and Vella Wilkinson. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Leader Filippi.
Thank you, Speaker. Same request in the affirmative. Representatives Roberts and Newberry, please.
Thank you. Clerk, please lock the machine. There are 72 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The act shall prevail. That concludes today's calendar. Before I go to announcements and introduction, I'll ask one more time, is there any new business? Any new business? That brings us to announcements and introductions. Representative Amore. And then we'll go to Representative Falella.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
Thank you. On the next legislative day, pursuant to Rule 7D, I'll be introducing a bill dealing with limited partnerships. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Falella, and then we'll go to Representative Henrys after.
Mr. Speaker, announcement, please.
Proceed.
As per Rule 7D, on the next legislative day, I'll be introducing legislation pursuant to emergency medical transportation. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Henrys, and then we'll go to Representative McGaugh after that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An announcement.
Proceed.
I would ask that my colleagues join me in sending well wishes and a speedy recovery to Senator Janine Calkin as she recovers.
Thank you. Yes, that's a very nice announcement. Janine and I share the Senate and House districts respectfully, and I sent her a private message today. She is in our thoughts and prayers, and we wish her well. This has been a very difficult week for members of the House and Senate. It was supposed to be vacation week, and it was a trying time for many of us. So I'm happy to say that we're all here and safe today. Thank you. Representative McGaugh, and then to Chairman Bennett after that.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm introducing a resolution today for immediate consideration with the approval of the House majority and minority leaders, and it's in recognition of the Portsmouth School Department. The Portsmouth School District was one of only 5 districts across the country to be honored with a green ribbon from the U.S. Department of Education on Earth Day 2021. The award recognizes the innovative efforts to reduce environmental impact and utility costs, improve health and wellness, and ensure effective sustainability education. The Portsmouth School Department has had an energy plan in place since 2011, working towards conservation of energy at all levels, from printing materials and lighting to heating and cooling. There are so many things to make note of from regarding the efforts of the Portsmouth School District, but let me just mention a few. Portsmouth High School is the home of the district's wind turbine, which produces significant electricity, providing the district with energy credits to reduce its electricity bill. Numerous upgrades have been made to school facilities for additional energy savings. The school district has a no idling policy to reduce emissions, and natural products are used for the playgrounds and the athletic fields. School gardens and outdoor learning spaces are available, and the school district incorporates environmental education into their curriculum. Melville Elementary School students, in cooperation with high school seniors, installed a rain garden to help control stormwater runoff and increase pollinator habitats. The district has a recycling program and composting programs. They have water bottle filling stations at all schools. The high school has a green club working on a number of initiatives such as beach cleanups, tree plantings, and electronic waste drives. The middle school has an after-school program. It's called the Portsmouth Ag Program, where the students are working directly in farming as part of their environmental education. Through the coordination of our outstanding leaders in the community, I wish to congratulate the Portsmouth School District on this notable honor.
Thank you very much. Please send it up. Chairman Bennett, and then we will go to Representative Quattrochi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An announcement.
Proceed.
Under Rule 7D, on the next business day, I will be introducing new legislation on the Green Buildings Act. I also have an adjournment, if that's possible.
Proceed with your adjournment as well. Please send up the resolution.
Okay.
You already did your 7D, but please proceed.
Before we went on recess, I lost a very close friend, Joe Nahad. We've been friends for close to 60 years. We lost him to leukemia. He leaves behind his wife, Linda, his daughter, Sarah, his daughter, Beth, and his 3 grandchildren, Jose, Gabriel, and Xavier. He's a dear friend, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Our condolences to you and to his family. Representative Quattrochi.
Speaker.
Proceed.
Pursuant to Rule 7D, on the next legislative day, I'll be introducing a bill related to waterworks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Barrows, and then Chairwoman Diaz.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Just want to let the folks know who are in the subcommittee, Finance Subcommittee on Public Safety, that will be meeting in room 35.
Thank you very much. Chairwoman Diaz, and then Representative Place.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 2 announcements.
Proceed.
One is I see resolution proclaiming and celebrating April 28th of 2021 as the Child Care Awareness Day in the state of Rhode Island. And the resolution is approved by the majority and minority leader, as well almost every single ladies in the House. And you too, Mr. Speaker. And also, Mr. Speaker, as many of you know, that for the last 10 years, we are celebrating the Child Care Awareness Day in the state. As a chairwoman of the Permanent Legislative Commission on Child Care, along with 2 more members, Rep. Ruggiero and Rep. Caldwell, as well Marianne Charcross, I would like to invite all of my colleagues to join me virtually tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the annual Child Care Awareness Day. The event brings legislators, early care and education providers, parents, policymakers, and members of the public together to discuss, challenge, and advocate for resources to meet the needs of children and families. In conjunction with the Strolly Thunder, we are going to have a community conversation between legislators and advocates to address the challenge faced by parents of young children during the COVID-19 crisis and beyond, including the need to have an adequate supply of child care that is healthy, safe, affordable, and high quality. Margie O'Brien of Capitol TV will be our moderator. Among those who will be attending are Leader Blasejewski, who always supporting child care, and Rep. Justin Cowell, Rep. Julie Casimiro, Rep. Liana Casar, Rep. Scott Slater, and Marianne Charcross-Smith. All members we send or you have already linked to the event, and we like to see you join us our 10 years annual child care anniversary. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Congratulations to you and the work you do on that great commission. Representative Place, and then Chairman Azzanaro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the next legislative day, in accordance with Rule 7D, I'll be submitting legislation dealing with health and safety.
Thank you very much, Representative.
Thank you.
Chairman Azzanaro, and then Representative Tanzi.
Thank you, Speaker. A request on the next legislative day, pursuant to Rule 7D, I will be introducing legislation pertaining to the Rhode Island Veterans Home. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Tanzi, and then Chairwoman Serpa.
Without objection, I'd like to be recorded in the affirmative for item number 3.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Chairwoman Serpa, and then Whip Kazarian.
Announcement, please, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Pursuant to Rule 7D, on the next legislative day, I'll be introducing 2 pieces of legislation, one relating to the donation of medications for use by nonprofit, state, and local facilities, and another one relating to fish and wildlife. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Whip Kazarian, and then Chairman Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for adjournment.
Proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to adjourn today in memory of Vartan Gregorian. I also have a House resolution expressing the deepest condolences on the passing of Vartan Gregorian. With the permission of both leaders, I'd like to have it read and left on the desk. And if I may say a few words.
Proceed, and please send it up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As many of you know, we lost a giant last week. Vartan Gregorian passed away. It was a really hard one for me. I'm sure many of you have read about his obituaries, about his accomplishments. He's an absolutely incredible person. He was born and raised in Iran. He ran away from home at 15, got a scholarship to Stanford, where he met his wife and life partner, Claire. From then, he went on into the academic world. He taught at UPenn. He literally saved the public library system, the New York public library system, and also came to Rhode Island, brought his talents here, and served as the president of Brown for many years. He was also a giant in the Armenian community. I think part of the reason I take his passing so hardly is because not only was he an Armenian American, and not only was he an incredible intellectual, but he was also an extremely humble person. And he also firmly believed in campaigning, believed in the idea that education can take people further and is truly something worth investing in. So again, I ask that this be read, and I ask that we keep his memory in our thoughts today. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. I would just like to add to that, Whip, he was also gregarious as a person and very generous and philanthropic, and he will be sorely missed, not only here in Rhode Island, but I'm sure everywhere he went and everybody he touched. Thank you. Chairman Casey, and then Representative McGaugh.
Thank you, Speaker. I have an announcement, an IC, and an adjournment, please.
Please proceed on all 3.
Thank you. The House Committee on Health and Human Services will be meeting immediately at the Rise in the House Lounge. I have a House resolution expressing condolences on the passing of Jackie Martino. This is with permission of both leaders, and I'm submitting this on your behalf to the House. Jackie Martino is excuse me, folks. Jackie Martino is a lifelong resident of Woonsocket, and she comes from a very large family in Woonsocket. Her brother was a former state representative here, and also another brother of her, Michael Martino, was a city councilor here in the city of Woonsocket. I actually saw Jackie last month at a vaccination clinic, and she was asking all about you and our experiences up here, and she's just a wonderful person, full of life, and I was very shocked to hear of her passing from you today. So I have a House resolution. I would like it read, and I will leave it on the desk for other signatures. I do have all the Woonsocket signatures, as well as Rep. Costantino, who's friends with Jackie's brothers. And I would request that if we could close in her memory today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman, Jackie was a wonderful friend. We went to high school together. We remained friends for 40 years. She's also the aunt of Emily Martino, who works for us in the communications department, does a phenomenal job working with Larry Berman. Will deeply be missed by her family and friends. And I will just say her very kind, warm, and loving spirit is the way I will remember her. She was always happy and always friendly, and she died way too young for all of us. So my condolences to her entire family and to everybody who knew her. Thank you, Chairman. Chairman McNamara, and then Representative Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request, please.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House, I would, on behalf of the leadership and the entire Warwick delegation, I would like to adjourn in the memory of the Honorable Anthony J. Kacheri. Mr. Speaker, I know that he was a good friend of yours as well as mine. He was the former chair of the House Committee on Health, Education, and Welfare. And during my tenure, Mr. Speaker, approximately every 5 years, Representative Kacheri would call and let me know what issues were very important to education in our state. And Mr. Speaker, I first met Mr. Kacheri 54 years ago as a junior at Pilgrim High School. He was my chemistry teacher, and he instilled a love of chemistry that I have to this day, and he believed in giving people a second chance. My senior year, I had several classmates, actually 3 close classmates, that were failing his class and failed the final exam, and therefore they would not graduate. They came to me and said, "Joe, we know that Mr. Kacheri likes you and you're close to him. Could you see what you could do?" And I said, "Mr. Kacheri, could I speak with you a minute after school?" He said, "Sure, Joe." I said, "How about we pull these students out of class and you allow myself and some other students to tutor them in the combined chemistry law, and then you can give them all any problem that you could think of and see if they can gain some credit." And he said, "Joe, sounds like a plan." Those 3 students all graduated because Mr. Kacheri gave them a second chance. And Mr. Speaker, when I went to my 50th reunion, a half dozen people came up. It was more than just 3, and thanked me. And I said, "Don't thank me. Thank Mr. Kacheri. He was the best science teacher and one of the greatest legislators that our state has seen in the past several decades." And I would respectfully request that we adjourn today in his honor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman. He will be missed. He was another friend. It's a sad part about this job. You eulogize to some degree the people you've lost, and he was a good friend. I've known him for many years. He was very active in Warwick politics even after he was a state rep. He ran the campaign of Mayor Donovan, and he's just a good human being, and I know his wife Joan well, so my condolences to him as well. Representative Morgan, and then Chairwoman Williams.
Thank you, Speaker. May I be recorded in the affirmative on items 1 through 4?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Chairwoman Williams, and then Leader Filippi after that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 7D, I will be introducing legislation on Alzheimer's and cable company. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman. Leader Filippi.
Adjournment, please, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
I ask the House adjourn in the memory of Edward Morgan, Senator Elaine Morgan's husband, who died unexpectedly last week on the 22nd of April. Thank you.
Yeah, our condolences to our colleague in the Senate. It was in many ways, a very bad week for a lot of people. So my condolences to Senator Morgan and her family. Leader Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a reminder to everybody, our next House session will be here at the Vets tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. The Vets is not available on Thursday, so we will be here tomorrow, Wednesday, at 4 p.m. at the Vets. And last but not least, a very happy birthday to Rep. Edie Agello. Her birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Edie.
Happy birthday, Edie. And many more in good health. Thank you. Thank you, Leader. I have numerous resolutions. I have a House resolution expressing deepest condolences on the passing of Jacqueline Martino by myself, Chairman Casey, and many others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a resolution congratulating the Portsmouth School District on being designated as the 2021 Green Ribbon School honoree by the United States Department of Education, brought to us by Representative McGaugh and seconded by many others. All those in favor, please say aye. Thank you. The ayes have it. I have a resolution by Whip Kazarian and myself, Leader Blazajewski, and Leader Filippi, expressing the deepest condolences on the passing of Vartan Gregorian, a nationally acclaimed historian and philanthropist. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution proclaiming and celebrating April 28th of 2021 as Child Care Awareness Day in the state of Rhode Island, brought to us by Chairwoman Diaz and seconded by many others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution expressing condolences, moved by Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution expressing condolences as well as congratulations from Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. I have a House resolution extending congratulations also from Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have another one also expressing condolences by Leader Filippi and seconded by Leader Blazajewski. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. And my last resolution for the day is brought to us by Chairman McNamara, expressing condolences on the passing of former state representative, the Honorable Anthony Kacheri, known as A.J. Kacheri from the city of Warwick, by Chairman McNamara, the Warwick delegation, and many others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Is there any objection to transmitting all matters on the clerk's desk to the Honorable Governor, the Honorable Senate, or the Secretary of State forthwith? Hearing none, so ordered. Leader Blazajewski moves that the House adjourn in memory of Vartan Gregorian, the Honorable A.J. Kacheri, Jacqueline Martino, and Edward Morgan, as well as Joseph Nahud, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those, please rise for a moment of silence. The House is adjourned and the desk remains open. Thank you.
Good job, Frank.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
I got them. What are you going to do? I got them lined up. You want to? Up? Okay.
Okay. You got them all?
There's one of them that was introduced that we never got because she had to get signatures on it.
Great to see you back. You don't have to
Okay.
read. You don't have to read McGaw's because she read it. But you don't have to read it. Thank you.
She never submitted. They're all in order anyway.
Okay. House resolution proclaiming and celebrating April 28th of 2021 as Child Care Awareness Day in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas on April 28, 2021, a panoply of citizens representing myriad organizations and institutions from across our state gathered electronically through a virtual event to celebrate the 9th annual Child Care Awareness Day. And whereas this event was held to discuss the challenges and advocate for resources to meet the needs of Rhode Island's children and their families, and to highlight the work of various organizations and programs in our state that work every day to improve the lives of children, youth, and families by providing high-quality care and education. And whereas the world's current health care crisis has brought to the forefront our state workforce's urgent and critical need and reliance upon safe and continuous child care. And whereas research on the human brain reveals that an overwhelming amount of a person's lifetime brain development occurs during early childhood, before the age of 3. And whereas, to be prepared for success, our children must receive high-quality child care from caregivers who have the appropriate skills, education, and training. And whereas a Child Care's Teachers' Day is spent interacting with children and caring for their needs, because it is through play, interaction, and socializing that children learn the fundamentals about others as well as the world around them. And whereas high-quality childcare is sensitive, responsive, personal, and developmentally appropriate, it provides the proper nurturing that children need at one of the most critical and vulnerable times in their lives. And whereas it is of immense importance to our state's economy and to Rhode Island's families that their children receive the highest quality care and are challenged at an early age, so that they may develop the necessary abilities to thrive in adulthood and someday lead our state into even brighter futures. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the state of Rhode Island hereby proclaims and celebrates April 28th of 2021 as Child Care Awareness Day. We furthermore urge the citizens of Rhode Island to recognize the tremendous skills, dedication, diligence, and value of the laudable child care providers who protect and equip our children for future success. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to the President of the Child Care Directors Association, the Director of Prevent Child Abuse RI, and the Chair of the Permanent Legislative Commission on Child Care. House resolution expressing deepest condolences on the passing of Vartan Gregorian, nationally acclaimed historian and philanthropist. Whereas it was with utmost sadness that this House has learned of the passing of Vartan Gregorian, noted scholar and philanthropic leader, beloved husband of 58 years to the late Claire Russell Gregorian, devoted father of Vahi Gregorian and his wife Cindy, Rafi Gregorian, and Dara Gregorian and his wife Maggie, and the proud grandfather of Juan, Maximus, Sophia, Mary, and Dashiell. And whereas Mr. Gregorian was born to Armenian parents in Tabriz, Iran, and was the brother of Ojik Arkelian, although English language limited, he immigrated to the United States in 1956 to study history and the humanities at Stanford University. His experiences in transition during these years became the foundation and inspiration for life's work.
And whereas from 1981 to 1989, Mr. Gregorian served as president of the New York Public Library, where he successfully revitalized and financially stabilized the institution. In 1986, he was a member of the inaugural class of the Ellis Island Medal of Honor awardees. And from 1989 through 1997, he served as president of Brown University, where he was acclaimed for his efforts to strengthen research, teaching, and public service activities at the university, as well as tripling its endowment. And whereas, beginning in 1997, Mr. Gregorian led the Carnegie Corporation of New York, where he was lauded as a devoted and tireless leader and extraordinary champion of education, immigration, and international peace and security. And whereas, respected and revered for his myriad accomplishments, Mr. Gregorian was a noted author, received dozens of honorary doctorates, and was hailed around the world as an historian and a philanthropist. He received awards from the French, Italian, Austrian, and Portuguese governments, and was the recipient of the National Humanities Medal in 1998 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our nation's highest civil award, in 2004. In addition, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg credited him with helping rebuild the city after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. And whereas Vartan Gregorian was a paradigm of very best leadership and humanitarian qualities, and his immense intellect, generosity, wit, and sense of humor, and his innate ability to encourage and challenge made him an unparalleled teacher, mentor, and inspiration for many, and he will be dearly missed. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby extends deepest condolences on the passing of Vartan Gregorian, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Vahi Gregorian, Rafi Gregorian, and Dari Gregorian. House Resolution congratulating the Portsmouth School District on being designated as the 2021 Green Ribbon Schools honoree by the United States Department of Education. Whereas annually, state education officials select and nominate top schools, districts, and post-secondary institutions in their states to be recognized as Green Ribbon School honorees. The 2021 honorees were named from a pool of candidates nominated by 20 states. And whereas the Portsmouth School District is one of 5 school districts nationwide to receive this prestigious Green Ribbon designation in 2021, and was the only principality in Rhode Island to be honored as a district. And whereas the Green School designation was developed to honor schools for their sustainable facilities, health practices, and effective environmental education, and to highlight the many innovative practices and helpful resources utilized to improve school facilities, health, and environmental engagement. And whereas the Portsmouth School District benefited from the teamwork of numerous individuals in achieving this recognition, with district science coach Margie Brennan credited as a driving force in their efforts. And whereas the accomplishments and strides demonstrated by Portsmouth School District's achievement illustrates the positive impact that schools can have not only on the academic experience of the young people they educate, but also on our environment and the world. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby congratulates the Portsmouth School District on being designated as a 2021 Green Ribbon School honoree by the United States Department of Education, and commends them on their uncompromising dedication to environmental sustainability and excellence in education. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Dr. Thomas Kenworthy, Superintendent of the Portsmouth School District.
There's 2 more. Do you want to do the last one? Go ahead, try it.
House Resolution expressing deepest condolences on the passing of Jacqueline L. Martino. Whereas it is with heartfelt sadness this House has learned of the passing of Jacqueline L. Martino, cherished sister of 7 brothers and sisters, Paul Martino Jr. and his wife Roseanne, Suzanne Martino, J. Pierre Martino, his wife Estelle, Rosemarie Boscheman, J. Michelle Martino and his wife Michelle, our friend and former colleague Gerard Martino and Louise Marcus. And whereas a lifelong resident of Woonsocket, Jackie, as she was fondly known by family and friends, was beloved daughter of the late Paul and Rachel Martino Sr. And whereas Jackie attended Mount St. Charles Academy, and upon graduation from Woonsocket High School, earned her bachelor's degree in education from the University of Rhode Island. And whereas Jackie had a sweet nature and a kind heart that she generously bestowed on her nieces and nephews, who affectionately called her Auntie JJ. And whereas always willing to lend a hand, Jackie was actively involved with various community organizations, including Woonsocket JC's and Autumn Fest, and was a constant source of comfort and support to her family and friends. And whereas blessed with a large and loving family, Jackie was a beautiful soul and spirit whose friendliness and beautiful smile will long be remembered and forever missed. Now therefore be it resolved, this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island extends deepest condolences to the entire Martino family of the passing of their dear sister and auntie, Jacqueline L. Martino. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State, being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Paul Martino Jr., Suzanne Martino, J. Pierre Martino, Rosemary Boschman, J. Michelle Martino, Gerard Martino, and Louise Marcus.
House resolution expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Anthony J. Carcieri. Whereas the Honorable Anthony J. Carcieri, the beloved husband of Joan Carcieri for 50 years and a devoted public servant for many years, passed away on April 17, 2021. He was born in Providence, the son of the late Mario and Santina Carcieri. And whereas Mr. Carcieri graduated from LaSalle Academy and then joined the United States Air Force, serving our nation with distinction as an aircraft technician. Upon completing his enlistment, he continued his education at Rhode Island College, graduating with a bachelor's degree with emphasis on mathematics and chemistry. And whereas Mr. Carcieri began his exemplary career as an educator when he attained a position teaching chemistry for the town of Coventry, he later advanced to become the chair of the science department at Warwick Veterans High School. During this time, Mr. Carcieri furthered his education by attaining advanced degrees from the Worcester Polytech Institute, Stanford University, and Marquette University, where he received an invitation to matriculate in the Jesuit School of Medicine and joined the faculty for a period of time as an instructor in the chemistry department. And whereas throughout his esteemed life, Mr. Carcieri felt that he had a civic responsibility to improve the quality of life in the state of Rhode Island, especially for children in our public school system. He began his public service career in 1972 when he was elected to represent the citizens of Warwick in the Rhode Island House of Representatives. For 14 years, he served our state with integrity and distinction, compiling a sterling record of excellence on issues pertaining to education and children's issues. He was widely respected and admired by his colleagues and was selected to chair the House Committee on Health, Education, and Welfare. And whereas, in the latter part of his professional career, Mr. Carcieri became a child advocate and fought tirelessly to protect the safety and improve the quality of life for all children in Rhode Island, but especially those who came into contact with our legal system. And whereas Mr. Carcieri had many different interests in his life, in his younger days, he enjoyed sailing on Narragansett Bay with his wife and friends. In later years, was a proud member of the Tri-City Elks Lodge number 14 in Warwick. He also enjoyed spending winter days in Florida and traveling the country with his wife in their motorhome. First and foremost in his life were always his family and friends, and nothing gave him greater joy than spending quality time with them. Whereas, in addition to his wife, Mr. Carcieri leaves behind his sons Anthony, Chris Carcieri, and Raymond Below, his grandchildren Melissa, John, Braden, and Mason, his great-grandchildren, Christopher, Abby, Nicholas, and Jackson, and his great-great-grandchildren, Abery and Preston. He was the father of the late Carol Crocher and the brother of the late Violet Signorelli. And whereas Mr. Kacheri leaves behind a proud legacy of distinguished public service and making a positive difference in the lives of many, he will long be remembered by his loved ones for the deep reservoir of love he gave on a daily basis, his compassionate and charitable nature, and for his deep faith and devotion to God. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby expresses its deepest condolences on the passing of the Honorable Anthony Kacheri, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Mrs. Joan Kacheri and family.
Yeah, I felt a little bit, just a little, we'll try to do one tomorrow, whatever. I mean, as soon as it feels, as soon as I got the confidence.